Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. And today's a little special because I was honestly going to be building this deck myself anyway, but I was able to actually obtain a viewer submission. So we're going to get you two profiles for this. We're going to do one today, and then I'll do my build either tomorrow or the day after. I do have a couple of requests I'd like to get out and get through. One of them being Exodia and one of them being a speed duel deck featuring the Super War Lion. And these are both pretty cool concepts, and I'd like to get those out before next week. So my version of this deck might take a little while to get out. And enough of that. Let's thank the viewer first. So Okami, I would love to thank you for submitting your deck. This is Magikey, in case you guys didn't read the title card. And we're going to give you guys a quick breakdown. So real quick, that red text just means my app is not updated for the newest TCG release. These cards all do exist in the TCG, so it's just sort of putting them in red because I did put this under a TCG heading. So this is the viewer-submitted Magikeys by Okami, or Ukami. You got to correct me on that because I keep flipping and flopping between the two, and I don't think that you've ever actually told me how to pronounce that one. But either way, this is a 40-card main deck, 15-card extra, 15-card side. He went so far as to give us a sideboard, so we will cover that today. The breakdown is going to be 7 normal monsters, 8 effects, 5 writs, 18 spell, 2 traps. The breakdown in the extra is going to be 3 fusion, 5 synchro, 3 xyz, and 4 links. And then our side deck is going to be pretty standard fare. 6 effect monsters, 6 spells, 3 traps. So let's just go ahead and get you guys a deck list. Real quick, it's going to start off with 3 copies of Advanced Ritual Art. Again, we're going to be playing some rituals, and we do have normal monsters in the deck, so let's make it happen. We do have 3 copies Ash Blossom, because you want those hand traps. You're going to have a single copy of Bound Magikeys. And again, I'm not sure that this is the official name or if this is the TCG translate. On here in the email, which I'm also referencing to my right, is considered Connected Magikey, so maybe that is the correct one. We are running the single Call by the Grave, tacking in 1 Deskbot 001, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Instant Fusion, 3 of the Magikey Mafte spell, 3 copies Magikey Blaster, Beto Blaster, or Betos Blaster, 2 copies of the Magikey Cannon Garazvet, 1 copy of the other trap. This is the counter trap. This will be Magikey Lock Unlock. 3 copies Magikey Sky Blaster Clavis. 3 copies Field Spell Magikey Unsealing. Another spicy little tack in here is going to be single copy Mecha Phantom Beast Coltwing. 2 copies Megalo Smasher X. Single Monster Reborn. Single Raigeki. Triple Rescue Rabbit. Double copies of Rice Sue Ship. 1 Terraforming, and 3 copies Unexpected Die. Very good opener for this deck. And again, I think this is a wonderful build, actually. We move over to your extra deck real quick. We've got the 1 Abyss Dweller, which seems to be standard at all times. Right now, he is building as it stands before the next release. On the next release, Dragite will be removed from this deck. I'm seeing in the notes here. We are using a single copy of that, a single copy of the Borreload Savage Dragon, a single Cross Sheep, single Hackafybrax, single Daigusto Emerald, single FA Dawn Dragster, 2 copies Herald of the Arclight, single Link Spider, 2 Magikey Evoked Beast, Ansia Labalis, I probably murdered that, and Magikey Evoked Dragon. I'm not even going to try that. Single copy of the Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon, and a single number 60 Dagaris the Timeless. Actually very good in this build. And then over to the sideboard. This is pretty standard. This is actually where I'm missing the most cards from having been able to do this as a live cards deck. Triple Lancia, triple Dark Ruler No More, triple Evenly Matched, triple Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, triple Lightning Storm. Some of these are a little easier to find than others, like Dark Ruler No More was in the... That should have been the Charmers structure deck. Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, Lancia. the Ash Blossoms, the Call by the Grave. These were all in Dual Devastators, so if you were lucky enough to be able to pick up 3 Dual Devastators, you were definitely covered on those. Lightning Storm just got reprinted in the King's Court. I think Evenly Matched is maybe the hardest to obtain of these cards, just based on amount of releases. So that is the deck list. Again, I'm planning something wildly different from this. I don't want to tip my hand quite yet. You'll see that in a day or 3. And if this is all you came for, guys, just a quick deck list. I'm going to scroll back through this in case you guys are jotting down notes. If this is all you guys came for today, seriously, I'd love to thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out with us today. It means a lot. If this video helped you, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. If you guys have decks that you'd like to submit, I love doing viewer submissions as well as my own custom builds. I think it's a nice change of pace to see how other people are playing the game as well. Let your friends know about the channel, and the most important thing I have to ask of you guys is to just have a great day. So if you're just here for the deck list, class is dismissed. We'll see you guys on the next video. Everybody else, let's talk over some of these card effects and what they do. So we're going to start with the Advanced Writ Art. This is pretty much a freebie for this deck. You can use this to ritual summon any ritual monster, sending normal monster or monsters from the deck to the discard pile whose level equal the level of the ritual monster. This has to be exact. This isn't like some of the rituals where they say up to or exceeding. But again, this is pretty free. As long as you have this and one of the monsters in your hand, you're good. Ash Blossom, I talk about this one all the time. This just stops your opponent interacting with a movement from the deck to somewhere, whether it is deck to hand, deck to discard, or deck to field on a summon. The bound Magikeys, let's talk about that. And again, I might have the wrong translation because it's saying connected there, it's saying bound here. It is what it is, guys. Normal trap card, target one normal monster or Magikey monster in the graveyard, add that card to your hand, then apply one of the following. You could fusion summon a Magikey fusion monster from your extra deck in defense using monsters from hand and field as material, or you can ritual summon one Magikey ritual monster from your hand in defense position by attributing monsters from your hand field that equal or exceed. So again, this kind of works double time for you, and the best part is we can do this just to get the card back and act as the filler. So it's not only the ignition source, it's also going to provide at least partial material for you. And if you are playing the low-level ritual, this could be the entire offering on a single card, minus having the ritual monster already in hand. So again, kind of cool. And I like the fact that as a tech card, if you were playing something vanilla, it does say then you can apply one of these effects, meaning you can disregard it and just use it as a return normal monster to hand. So very cool card. I do plan on using that in a different type of build later on. Call by the Grave is essentially a stunner for your hand traps, and it does its great job. We do have Despot 01. This one doesn't come up too often. Level 1 Machine Tuner. Gains 500 AD for every machine that you control. If 2 or more machine monsters are special summoned at the same time, and we're going to show you how we're going to do this with the tokens off the Mecha Phantom Beasts. While this is in the graveyard, except during the damage step, then you can special summon this card. Other great ways of playing this are if you are playing something that involves pendulum summoning, or I think it's just pendulum summoning. There's not too many effects that let you bring back 2 machines at a time. So this deck obviously does it for you. We do the 1 Feather Duster. This is great when you go second. If your opponent has set anything, you just destroy all their spell traps. You do have the instant fusion. You pay the 1,000 life points and special summon 1 level 5 or lower fusion monster out of your extra deck to the field. I don't think it could attack directly that turn. Sorry, cannot attack at all. Also, it is destroyed during the end phase. This is treated as a fusion summon. You can only activate 1 of these per turn. That's fine. It's limited to 1. We're not worried. Let's talk about Meftei. This spell is amazing. So first off, fusion summon 1 Magikey fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from hand or field as material, or ritual summon a Magikey ritual monster from hand by attributing from hand or field to equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster in question. This is great because just like the trap, this is going to give us the versatility to pick and choose which play we actually want to go into. Additionally, If you control a normal monster, you can also send a normal monster from the deck to the graveyard as fusion material or as one of the monsters required for the ritual summon. So again, if you're going into the level 4 ritual here, this could again provide you everything you need and not sacrifice the board position, allowing you to build up a link board afterward or whatever. So very utility, very cool. Let's talk about that level 4 ritual monster real quick. Not only is he a ritual, not only is he a machine, he's also a tuner, which is very cool. This deck is actually going to utilize everything, but I think everything but Pendulum in the deck. And I'm not sure, I don't think they have a link yet either, but we might see one of those in a future release. In order to play this, you can ritual summon this using Magikey. If this card is ritual summoned, you can add one Magikey card, and that's important. It says card, so this could be a spell trap as well from deck to hand. You can only use this effect once per turn, and since it is in quotes, that's a hard once per turn. Once per turn, when an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's monster with the same attribute as a normal monster or Magikey monster in your graveyard, again, this is why we play the varied attributes, you can place any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, negate the effects of that opponent's monster until the end of this turn, then draw cards equal to the number of the cards you placed. So this guy is going to allow us to correct hands while stunning effects, and if you guys were paying attention during our card of the week, this last week, the Iris Sword Soul can actually be utilized during this because you are negating a monster's effect, which is really cool. That'll allow you to special summon that as well if you are so inclined to deck that in. So that's just great. Let's talk about the cannon now. The cannon is an 8-star. This is going to require 2 of your monsters. It's good. It's got 2,000 by 28. Again, it's going to be machine. You can ritual summon this again with the Magikey. Gains attack equal to the number of different attributes in the graveyard times 300. So in a normal deck where you're not using a god card to add divine, there are 6 attributes, 6 and 3, 1,800 power. If you did get a god card into your deck for some reason, 2,100 additional power. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. When your opponent activates the effect of a monster with the same attribute as a monster in the graveyard, while you control this card, ritual summoned using monsters with 2 or more different attributes. Quick effect, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Kind of fantastic. If this ritual summoned card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Magikey monster from the deck to your hand. So again, this still, on its way out, is still going to give us another tutor, and it's a great extension. It's awesome. And honestly, guys, I'm quite in love with the way that it looks. That is a cool looking cannon. So that was Garvis set. Let's talk about the Magikey unlock. This is your counter trap for the deck. When your opponent activates a spell trap while you control a Magikey ritual monster or a Magikey monster special summoned from the extra deck, and again, next set, that's going to be a bunch of different types. Negate the activation, and if you do, destroy the card. Then you can declare an attribute, and if you do, all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls become that attribute until the end of this turn. You can only activate 1 of these per turn. So again, kind of cool, and this feeds into the negation from the previous effect. Again, let's just find that again real quick. While you control this, when your opponent activates the effect with the same attribute as the monster in your graveyard. So by changing their attributes, you can automatically set up that negate right there. Clavis, he's just a 4-star vanilla 1900. He's kind of cool looking, but he is just here to be attribute. And of course, since it's his archetype. Let's talk about Magikey Unsealing. This is a great field spell. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Magikey monster from deck to hand. And again, that's a great tutor. This reminds me of a lot of Hidden City from Guru Control or Subterra Control. The first time each non-token normal monster you control will be destroyed by a battle or card effect this turn, it is not destroyed. And it's per each, so it's not a once per turn, once only. It's a once per turn per card. During the main phase, you can add 1 Magikey Magikey from the deck to your hand. So again, we're going to play this. We're going to get our monster. Then we're going to trigger the effect. We're going to move our Magikey spell to our hand as well. Awesome. Then place 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. That's fine. This is really going to be a hand correction effect. You can only use this effect once per turn. You can only activate one copy of this card per turn. So pretty standard limitations on it as far as what it does and what it how it could be abused. Not bad. Single Mecha Phantom Beast Colt Wing. Now this is awesome. So if this is special summon 2 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens, and right there, that's your desk bot number 1. You must control another Mecha Phantom Beast monster to activate and resolve this effect. This card's level is increased by the total level of all Mecha Phantom Beast tokens you control. While you control a token, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and once per turn you contribute 2 tokens. Target 1 card the opponent controls, destroy that target, and if you do, banish it. So we still have some field spot removal and control aspect with this card. So this card's really cool. And it's kind of a spicy tech, a little spicy. You get the Megalo Smasher, Vanilla 2K Water, Monster Reborn, Generic Extender, Magikey, destroy opponent's monsters, break boards, Rescue Rabbit. Cannot be special summoned from the deck. You can banish this card you control, special summon 2 level 4 or lower normal monsters, same name from deck, but destroy during the end phase. Again, we're probably going to overlay, or we're going to fuse with them, or we're going to go ahead and link. There's so many things that we could do with the Rescue Rabbit, it's not even funny. Sue Ship is actually just here to be a generic vanilla 4-star 2K beater, but this brings in the fire attribute for us. Now, you'll see why that's important later. Terraforming just gets you your field spell faster. It's like having an extra copy. And Unexpected Dies. So this is a great card on the open. If you control no monsters, special summon a level 4 or lower normal monster from the deck. So this will help you start kicking off combos. And again, Clavis is 4-star normal, and this means that we can board a Magikey monster right out the rip just off this alone. So awesome. What else do we have? We have an extra deck. So Abyss Dweller is there to null out the graveyard effects. Dragite, something that we haven't talked about before, so this is an 8-star. Tuner, non-tuners. During the main phase, you can excavate the top 5 of your deck, and if you do, you can return cards from your return cards your opponent controls to hand, up to the number of excavated rock monsters. Also, place the excavated cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. When your opponent activates a spell, trap, or effect while a water monster is in your graveyard, this is the reason we're going to be playing this. Quick effect, you may negate and then destroy, using each effect once per turn. Now, I don't know if you'd really want to do the excavation, because again, we got zombie, machine, warrior, machine, dino, beast, aqua. So you're not gonna excavate. It's here for the control aspect. Borreload Savage is going to be here to be able to equip itself with one of our Fallen Link monsters and gain some negations that way. Cross Sheep is going to get some excellent amount of play in this. Generic Link 2, monsters with different names. Doesn't exclude your tokens, which is important. If a monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, you can apply the following effects in sequence based on the card types of the monsters. So we do have 2 ritual monsters, so there's the option to draw 2, drop 2. We do fuse, so we can special summon a level 4 lower back from our graveyard and bolster our field. We do synchronize, so we can give all our monsters a plus 700 attack. Notice real quick, it does not say till end of turn. That's a permanent bonus for you. And if you exist, which again we can do, all monsters the opponent currently control lose 700 attack. And again, there's not the wording that says till end of turn. This is permanent unless the monsters get placed face down or removed from the field, bounced, whatever. And again, you can use this effect once per turn. So you kind of need to use it sparingly and pick for the effect that you think is actually going to benefit you the most when playing. After the Cross Sheep, we have Hack of Fibrax. Hack of Fibrax is doing some stuff. 2 monsters, 1 has to be a tuner. Very easy to do. Despoto 1 is just made for this. If this is Link Summon, you can special summon a level 3 or lower tuner from the hand or deck in defense. You cannot activate its effects this turn. During your opponent's main phase or battle phase, as a quick effect, you can banish this monster you control, special summon a tuner synchro from the extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon, and you can only use each effect of Hack of Fibrax once per turn. So again, good card, great card. We do have Daigusto Emerald. This is 2 4s. Once per turn, detach material from this. Activate one of the following. We can get both of these effects in this deck. First one is target 3 monsters in the graveyard, shuffle them back in, draw 1 card. It's like a mini Pot of Avarice. Or we can target a non-effect monster in our graveyard and special summon that target. which again is going to help us build our field, and this makes this a great extension card going into other plays. We do run Dawn Dragster at a single copy, gains attack equal to its level times 300, and again this will put it at a base 2100. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing. Each time an FA spell trap is activated, don't worry about this, blah 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 blah. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell trap card or an effect, quick effect, you may reduce this level by 2. And if you do negate the activation, destroy the card. He's here for control. That's what we need. Next up will be the Herald of the Arclight. This one's pretty self-explanatory as well. This is tuner non-tuners. This gets you to a 4-star. This is still very capable. Any monster sent from the hand or main deck to the graveyard is banished instead. So again, this will stop hand traps being played against you. When a spell trap or a monster effect is activated, quick effect, you may tribute this card, negate, and if you do, destroy the card. So again, it's got counter to it. If this is sent to the graveyard, you can add a ritual monster or ritual spell from deck to hand. So this card literally has 3 effects. They're all very pertinent to us. This is why we wanted to go ahead and use this at 2. Good card, great card. Just play it, honestly. We got the Link Spider. This guy helps you out if you can draw like a clunky hand. It's just any one normal monster. And again, we can do this off of the Cult Wing tokens as they are non-effects. Once per turn, you can special summon a level 4 lower normal monster from your hand to a zone this points to. It's just a quick extension. It is what it is. Let's talk about the Evoked Beast. So to make this, we need a Magikey and a non-token normal. Very easy to do. Also, this is a tuner. Very important to note. If this is fusion summoned, you can add a Magikey Mafte from your graveyard to your hand, so we're going to be able to recycle our fusion/ritual spell. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn, you can target one opponent attack position monster with the same attribute as a normal or Magikey in the graveyard. Change it to defense, and if you do, it loses 1,000 defense. Banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. So this guy, he's got some upsetting abilities for our opponent. And this is why he gets 2 slots in the extra. Let's talk about the dragon, and you'll see why he only gets 1. He is an 8-star. He is 28 by 2k. Magikey effect plus non-token normal. When fusion summoned, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. Once per turn, you can target one normal monster or Magikey in the graveyard. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls with the same attribute as that monster. Once per turn, if an opponent's monsters with the same attribute as a monster in your graveyard is destroyed by battle or card effect, and you control this card, fusion summon using monsters with 2 or more attributes as material, you can draw a card. So again, this brings us back to our counter trap and changing our opponent's attributes. We can fudge those stats. We can force them into a position where we can go ahead and get rid of their monsters and get a draw card off this. So again, this is very cool. I love the interplay that these guys have. I'm not saying they're going to be the next meta deck. Honestly, I think they're going to be somewhere with some rogue status, but these cards are giving me some hope. Last 2 real quick. The Aurora Dawn, this is really cool, 2+ machines. This is a Link 3. If this is Link summoned, you can activate this effect. Special summon 3 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens. Also, you cannot Link summon for the rest of this turn. Guess what, guys? That's another in for our Deskbot 01. Once per turn, you contribute up to 3 monsters, then apply one of these effects based on the number attributed. If you only attribute 1, you get to pop a card. That's fine. If you do 2, you get to special summon a Mecha Phantom Beast from your deck. This is better. This gets you Cult Wing. And 3, add 1 trap from your graveyard to your hand. Again, we're only running 2 traps. We're going to stick to the first 2 effects, and we're going to play this one well. And then last up is just Agaris. And for those of you who don't know, this is a great way of trying to get an effect like Utopia Double without having to put in the deck space between the main deck and the extra deck. This is still 2 level 4s. You can detach 2 materials from this card to activate one of the following. And those effects are you can skip your next draw phase to draw 2, drop 1. Or you can skip your next main phase to get an additional special summon from your graveyard and defense, which helps you build the board, presuming that you're going for game. And the third effect is skip your next battle phase to double the attack of a monster you control until the end of this turn, using this effect only once per turn. So again, you can't have multiple copies of Agaris out trying to get different effects out. Again, It's just a great tech. Moving over to the side deck. And again, I normally stick away from doing side decks because it's almost always the same thing. And this is really based on your budget. And again, these are just 5 really great choices. Let's go with Lancia first. So you can set this card from the hand to the spell trap zone as a spell during your opponent's turn if it is destroyed, and sent to the graveyard, special summon it. So it's good to fake out your opponents. During your opponent's turn as a quick effect, you can tribute this card from your hand or face up on the field, which is what we normally do. Neither player can banish cards for the rest of this turn. This stops some cool effects. This guy's just a great card. We do have the Dark Ruler no more. This is like the epitome of what it means to be a go second card. Negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of this turn. Also, for the rest of the turn after this resolves, your opponent takes no damage. Neither player can activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. And really, this is just about getting the board position. This isn't about winning that turn. This is board position. And I think you guys all understand that. Evenly Matched, one of the best trap cards in, well, I'm going to say any era. Not just today's meta, but like if this had released earlier, obviously this would have been great then too. At the end of the battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, notice it doesn't say whose battle phase. You can make your opponent banish cards in their, from their field face down, so they control the same number of cards as you do. If you control no cards, you can activate this card from your hand. Think about that. Really think about that. That's amazing. Anyway, Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. This is basically going to be Ash Blossom, but dealing with the discard pile. So they can't add cards from the discard to hand, deck, or extra. They cannot special summon monsters from the graveyard, and they can't banish from the graveyard. So everything Ash Blossom does to the deck, Ghost Bell is going to prevent from the discard pile. Awesome. And then Lightning Storm. If you control no face-up cards, activate one of the following effects. Either destroy all spell traps they have or destroy all attack position monsters they have. So in essence, it is Lightning, Vortex, plus Feather Duster. Just a great versatile card. Now, as far as notes that I was left, basically you want to get into Aurora Dawn in order to summon your Despot 1 and do all those other effects. Honestly, it was all pretty self-explanatory, and we basically went over all of that. So I'm not going to worry you guys. So one more time. Ukami, thank you again for letting me profile your deck today. It's an honor, and honestly, I really enjoy the stuff like this. And yours is definitely different than the build I will be showing in, like I said, in a day or 3. I do have some viewer requests I'd like to get out. Again, there's an Exodia deck that I've been working on, as well as a speed duel deck for the Super War Lion, which is just like a vanilla 6-star, I think, and it's just really great. And I can't wait to do that. So for now, the only thing I have to say is thanks for watching. This went on way too long. And you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys on the next video. Later.